warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good evening for Mr. Johan and Dr. Asman. Today I'm going to present my system. So first we're going to access the lecture system. So we input the email. Here's the lecturer's homepage. They have the three panels here. First panel showing the next appointment. Next appointment is the appointment that have been approved by the lecturer. The information that's shown is date, time, request from student name, title, and venue. If the lecturer click check button, it will show the description of the appointment. The second panel is the list of the appointment requests. This is the appointment that still not be approved by the lecturer. Same like before, if the lecturer click check, it will show the description of the appointment. This is the 2-day schedule as the third panel. Moving on to the next appointment. On the next appointment is the appointment that have been approved by the lecturer. And how to approve it? To approve it is just by going to this one. Appointment request. In this page, the lecturer may be able to accept or reject the appointment. So if the lecturer reject the appointment, first let's check the appointment. It will show the description also. If the lecturer reject the appointment, the message will auto-generate into the respective student. Like example, this one is the Fadli. This is the appointment coming from Fadli. If we reject the appointment, the appointment disappear and the message will come into the Fadli. This one is sent from Amri to Fadli. Rejecting appointment. And if the lecturer accept the appointment, this is from Kalidunia. If we accept it, the appointment here will be disappear and it will move into this page. So we have three next appointment. And as you can check, this is from Amri to Khalidun. Same. Exception of the appointment request. In this page, the lecturer also may be able to cancel the appointment. And if the lecturer click check, it will show the description. And if the lecturer click cancel, the message will auto send to the respective student. So it will disappear and this one canceling appointment from Amri to Khalidun. That's for the cancelling, rejecting, and accepting the appointment that coming from student. Moving on to the schedule. Schedule for the lecture, they have the three navigation links. First one is the lecturing schedule, second available schedule, and third check schedule. Lecturing schedule is the lecturing schedule. It focuses on the what time of the lecture having class to teaching. So as you can see that the Monday PMP 005 this database group 1 class type is lecture from 2 until 3. Same like the second one. The lecture may be able to delete or edit the class. Delete here meaning that the lecturer will not teaching this class anymore. And edit will meaning that it will change the time of the teaching class. Once the lecturer get permission by the admin to open the new class, then the lecturer lecturer can choose what class and then choose the group, type of the class, day, and the time started and time finished. So group 1, the lecturer, Tuesday. So if it success, the new class will be added here. The class will be added as long as it's not clash with the other class, and also it will not clash with the available schedule of the lecture. If the lecturer wants to edit the time of the lecturing class, then he can just edit it here and then choose the day, maybe Friday at the same time at 1 p.m. Oh, it has clash. It is, if it clash, it will have the notification like this. So it was Tuesday before Thursday. So if it success, the day will become changed and also the group. And if the lecturer doesn't want to teaching this class anymore, just click delete. It will not delete the class, but it will just put the lecture out of the teaching from this class. So it will disappear. And that class will be free from teaching. So any lecturer wants, if any lecturer wants to teaching that class, they can open this new schedule and assign into that class. So moving on into the available schedule. In this available time, this is showing the lecture available time. So the lecture already have the available time at Monday, Tuesday, and Friday with the description like this. It's showing the time, the location, and the restricted for one meeting on that specific date. And no restriction, meaning that every student may be able to booking the appointment. This for the delete and this for the edit. And if the lecturer want to open the new available time, just click here and then just pick any day that he wants to book to open the new available time. So as you can see that we want to open at Tuesday since it's free. Tuesday, this one, 3. So we have the 4 option here. No restriction. So every student may be able to booking the appointment. This for the FYP student. It will only the FYP student under this lecture may be able to booking the appointment. This for the CS1. CS1 and DB1 is the course that teach by this uh, by this lecture. So any student that coming from this course that may be able to booking the appointment. So make it as the CS1. Mm, this PM, okay, and this also. So this the new one from 4 until 5, restricted for 3 meetings, and for the CS1 group, CS group 1. And if the lecturer wants to edit this available time, just click here, and then the lecturer may be able to select day, change the day, change the location, number, meeting, and just say that he wants to make it for CS1 as Friday. So it will change. And if the lecturer wants to delete the available time, we can just delete it, and it will disappear. And moving to the check schedule. Check schedule, we have the unrepeatable schedule, unrepeatable event, meaning that like we see this one, lecture schedule and available schedule is the repeatable one. But if the lecturers want to add new event that will not be repeatable, so just add event here. So the default page will showing the schedule date, this date, this the 8 August and this 11 what? This the 2 days date. So the 2 days date is this one. Teaching, CS1 lecture and available discussion. And if the lecturer wants to add new event, just click this one. Mm, and then it will be success and added new here. And if the lecturer wants to add the new event on the another date, just click this one, maybe at 17. So at 17 is the schedule of the lecturer, and if the lecturer wants to add event, so the new data will be saved here. And if the lecturers want to edit or delete, just click here, and then so it's showing the 2 days date. But if you want to check any edited or new inputted schedule, new input, I mean the inputted event, you can check it here. This one, we just edit this one. And if the lecture wants to delete, just delete, click delete, and as you can see, the jogging will disappear. Moving on into the message. Message, we have three links here: check message, private message, and broadcasting. Check message. So the lecturer may be able to check any incoming message and the send message. So just say that the lecturer, maybe we make the new message first. So first we can just choose any student's email. Maybe we select this one. We send it. If you want to check the send message, you can see it here. That send to the Khalidun. So subject, and then we can this is the message that sent. This message. And if the lecturer wants to chat regarding the subject, he can just reply it here. So the new message will come. Test. So the Khalidun also will receive this message and he can also reply the message. So between Khalidun and the lecturer Amri, they can chat it here regarding this subject. Moving on to the broadcasting. This is the broadcast page. So here, lecturer may be able to broadcast to specific student that he teach by choosing this CS1 or DB1. This is the course that the lecturer teach. And if the lecturer wants to broadcast to specific student who have appointment on a specific date, then then lecturer have to pick the date here and then fill the time started and time finished. But in case the lecturer wants to broadcast to student that he teach, just pick this one. No need to bother about the selected time started or time finish. So I want to test using the student that he teach. This DB1. So if the lecturer want to check, just check it here. This for the private message and this for the broadcast. So showing. So it's sent to the Khalidun and Fadli Ashari. We can check it here. test DB1 student, test to DB1. And for the last one is profile. So profile, they have three panels: profile, teaching, and supervising. For profile, the lecturer may be able to to upload the picture for the personal user picture. So the picture change. This for the edit the office in case that the lecture moving. Hmm, contact number. This profile, teaching, and supervising will be up once the student check the lecture. This profile, teaching, and supervising will be shown into the student. Exactly same like this, unless that student cannot browse and create the user profile picture. For teaching, lecturer may be able to edit it by using this one, lecturing schedule. And supervising, the lecturer may be able to add the new student and the supervised student. If the lecturer wants to add the new student, the new data will be here. This one also will be shown to the student, so student may be able to know whether the lecturer is still free to have supervise the student or not. And then if they let, so that's all for the lectures client. So we moving on into the student client. So this for student homepage. Student homepage also have three panels: next appointment, list of appointment requests, and to the schedule. So for the next appointment, same like lectures client, it's showing the appointment that have been approved by the lecturer. Student also may be able to check the description. This is for the appointment that request by the student and still not be accepted by the lecturer. So the student have to wait for this one to be accepted. Student also can check. And this for the schedule, to the schedule. So we're moving first to the next appointment. So this is the appointment that have approved by the lecturer, but in this page, student may be able to cancel the appointment. So if the student cancel the appointment, the message will be auto sent to the specific lecturer. But first we check it here first. And this for the appointment request that still not be accepted by the lecturer. And same like before, if it's click check, it can see description. And if the student click cancel here, it will also auto generate to the lecture, specific lecture. So just let's check cancel. So the appointment disappear, and we can check it here. So this the message that sent to the Amri. And for the approved appointment, so the notification also will come in here. So in case that the student wants to search the specific lecture or the specific course, so he can just click here. This page is useful for students to follow the specific course. So once the student click the follow button, it means that the student will follow this course. And if the course is already followed, and if the student wants to unfollow the course, he can just click the unfollow button. It means that the student is no longer the student of this course, and it can also search the course. The student also can check the find the lecture also. So if the student check class, this is the schedule of the class. The schedule also have the lab, the lecture class, and also the tutorial. And if the student unfollow, so if it's unfollow, the button will become follow. It means that the student still not follow the course. And the function of this one, it means that just like we know that the lecture may be able to set the restriction for the specific student to booking the appointment. So once the lecturer set restriction only for the specific course, only the student that follow that specific course that may be able to booking the appointment. So in order to student to booking the appointment for that particular constraints, the student have to follow the course. And then, and in case that student wants to booking the appointment to the specific lecture, he can just check. This the page, the profile page that we saw on the lecture profile page. It's totally same. And if the student wants to booking the appointment, he can just booking here. So we booking at the this no restriction, and be careful, this the FYP student. This only for the student that have supervised by this particular lecturer. So we in here we can choose any date on this Monday. If you are not sure whether you have class with another student or not, you can check here. So as you can see that Fadli at 8:17 also have appointment with this lecturer, and also at 8:31. You can also booking at the same date, but be careful. We have to check that the appointment only for one date, only for one meeting or that date. So we cannot. Uh, Let me show you. So this restricted for one meeting. It meaning that in the particular date, only one meeting is allowed. And as we can see that we cannot booking at this date since it's already taken by Fadli. But in this date, we still have a change because it still not be accepted. So we try at 8:31 and make sure that the time is not clash. If it's success, it will shown here, and we can check. This appointment already sent to the lecturer, and we can also check here. This is the auto message sent to the Amri. Appointment request. Testing make appointment. And if the student already follow the course, he can just check it here, follow the course, and then student may be able to unfollow or booking the appointment. Booking appointment is same like before. Moving on to the setting schedule. This is the schedule of the particular student. You only have one, DB1, group 1, 14, 15. And then check schedule. This is same like before, same like the lecturer one. He can add event to this date. So the new data will be here. And if the students wants to maybe add event on the another date, another incoming date, to prevent any clash with the other appointment, he can just play it here. So if the student wants to check any inputted date, he can just check it here. And and then he can edit or delete it. Test it, F1, 1, 2, 3. And if the student wants to delete, just delete. Just disappear. So moving on to the message. So for the message, that student only can check notification and send the private message to the particular lecture. So he can just find the name of the lecturer, maybe Amri. If the student wants to check the email that he sent or he received, he can just check it here. So same like before, that student and lecturer can reply each other by using this button. So any conversation regarding the subject can be shown here. So that's all from the student client. Moving on, we come into the admin client. This is the homepage of the admin client. So the admin can add new student. The homepage is the list of users, managed user. Student may be able to add the like administrator may be able to add new student or new lecturer. So this is the page. If it's so, this is the details of the Amri, the lecturer. And if the administrator wants to edit the details of this one, he can just edit here. And this is the edit page for the user A11113 for the Amri. And if in case that he wants to update this one, so the names change, and also with the phone number. And if the user wants to delete specific user, he can just delete. Then and then the deleted users will be disappear from this table. And if the administrator wants to add new student or new lecturer, he can just click here. This ID is auto-generated for the next user ID. Then and then the new user will be stored here. And if the administrator wants to add new lecture, he can just select here, and then the user ID will auto generate the next ID. And then the location here is showing the available location that can be occupied by the selected lecturer. And then the new user will be stored here. This for the manage user, and then we move to the manage course. On the manage course, there are the default page, course ID, course name, group, and coordinator. So each group will be shown here. And if the administrator wants to check the lecture class, tutorial class, or like the lab class, he can just check it here. And each of the class type can be edit or delete. This for the lab class. The lecture is still open, still free. Same here. And this for tutorial. The lecture is already occupied by Jonjo. And if the lecturer wants to edit, just click edit. The original is still free. Then the lecturer occupied by this one will be. And if the administrator wants to delete the specific class type, he can just delete. Then the ended type already disappear from this one. And if wants to add a new class to fill all the form here, so others, and then the new class will be added here. The other is one. This for the adding the class type. In case that the administrator wants to add the new course, you can just add it here. So first one, and then the new ID is the new ID, the next one, and then course name, group, and name of the coordinator. If the administrator wants to show, just add new class here, same like before. And if the administrator wants to edit, just edit. And if the administrator wants to delete, just delete. And it will disappear. So moving on to the manage lecturer availability. So this the list all the lecture availability. And if the administrator wants to add a new one, just click here and then select the respective lecturer. We select 30 day. So the new availability appear here. And if the administrator wants to edit, then it will change. Delete. Same goes to the location. This lists all of the location. Possession meaning that this particular location or the possessed by this lecturer is the ID. And to add the new location, just click it. And possession, you can just leave it like this, or you can just find and save. Then the new location will be added here. And if the administrators want to edit, just click edit. And then you can delete the someone that belong it and then save new one. And if want to delete the location, just click delete. That's all for my system. I hope that my uh, mistake from the previous presentation will be covered in this one. Even though that is not all the uh, weakness that from the previous presentation will be covered, but I hope that in this presentation it will add more points. Okay, thank you and see you next time.